Hey guys, Rachel Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. So I think I intend to oversaturate my channel with Faction Wars 2.0 content here. The second channel, that is this channel, at least for the next, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks. Just talking about all the viable options that I would recommend for each of the trials or the conditions of each of these faction wars. Now, today I'm super late, but you know, this is evergreen content. You can certainly look at this stuff or check out any of these videos. I'll have them all in one curated playlist for you guys as well here on the channel, covering, you know, hopefully every single stage of every single faction war. Now, I'm gonna clear it with my main teams, the champions that I would use on each of these levels, but I do want to go through the conditions again and talk about recommendations in each faction in case you don't have, you know, some legendaries or even a mythical or two along the way. Okay, so that's going to be the idea here. If you have any feedback, I would love to hear it from you guys. I will sprinkle in other content on the channel as well, but it's going to be pretty faction war heavy, which I'm not sure about. The reason I wanted to do it on this channel is because it strikes me that probably over half of my audience hasn't completed yet Faction Wars regular mode and gotten their Lydia, the Death Siren. So have you guys completed? I'm assuming you have if you're watching this video. And I'm sorry, this video, if you're watching it at the time it goes live, I appreciate you guys tuning in, the notification squad or whatever, but we have like 2.5 hours, less than 2.5 hours by the time this goes live, less than 2, left on the Ogryn tribe in the Dwarf crypt here. But I digress. That's what we're doing, so let's jump into it with Ogryn Tribes. So you can see, by the way, the conditions to anything or any stage in any crypt by going on to the details section, and then you go conditions for 3 stars, right? So they'll have everything kind of mapped out for you, especially if you want to kind of plan for the next day or whatever. So Ogryn Tribes, you can see all the stages here. We're going to be dealing with poisons, stuns, provokes, manipulate buff or debuff durations 20 times. Interesting. Land 40 hits on enemies while they're under leech. I've done that on another faction crypt. Manipulate turn meter 40 times. Clear the stage in 100 turns. I wonder if those will be incredibly challenging or pretty easy. I'm not sure. They go up to 150 as we get higher here. I'm not going to read them all off, but clear stage in 200 turns is the condition for stage 21. We will take a quick glance through the stage conditions in each of these videos, just to see. What is 20? Keep all your champions' HP above 75%. Bolster stone skin sets, right? Okay, pretty cool, pretty interesting. What do you guys think of the conditions? I think the majority of players I've talked to so far don't like them. I'm a weirdo, I kind of do, but then again, I have access to a lot of champions. I've spent money in this game. I've been playing for a long time, so I'm a little bit biased, but, you know, it's something new to do in the game at the very least, is experiment and look into other champions that you haven't used before. All right, here we go. So we have placed 20 poison debuffs. Another thing, you know, most players probably already know this, but you can go down to debuffs in your champion filter, and you can search for, well, whatever debuff you want to find here. So let me push myself over a little bit. In terms of champions that I have that have poisons, there's not that many. There's a Urigrim, there's a Cult Brawler, there's Stock the Broken, and there is a Gerda Bogbrew. So there we go. Those are our options, right? So I think that Urigrim, in terms of, let's take out Gurgo the Augur, and take out Gizmak. If you have 2 poisoners for these, it doesn't have to be poison. It can be provoke or anything else. I try to load my team up with at least 2 if I can, if I have them. But you can also do it with 1. Of course, if you only have 1 poisoner in a faction, you might have to manipulate things so that way you're not killing everybody else, you know, so fast that you can land enough poisons to meet the condition, right? So I did that a couple times on other faction crypts so far. I had like a super support-oriented team, and then I went in there and just took forever, but I got the job done. So we're going to use Stock the Broken, and we're going to go ahead and use Urigrim, 2 great options. Now, I think that Urigrim has a speed in all battles, which he does, by 20%. Now, I'm not sure if I have gear on these champions, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. I'm going to exit out, and I'm going to see what we have here. So, Ugo, what do we need on Ugo here? I had Ugo naked. I do have Ugo naked. Shame on me, right? I'm just going to, just for the sake of your time and mine, I'm just going to throw on good old perception, right? I'm not even going to look at anything. How about that? I don't know why I had a bolster. It must have been like a Cursed City stage or something like that. All right, I lied. I want to get, some sort. And I'll just throw some crit rate on her. Who cares, right? Who really cares? As long as she's standing, she'll be of service to us for sure. All right, Ugo has gear. Stock the Broken doesn't. Man, I don't know. Maybe I should prepare for these videos, huh? What do you guys say? We're going to throw them in Perception. This should be a fairly easy stage. It's stage 1 after all, right? But I could absolutely use these champions later as well. Let's just go ahead and throw some rando stuff on him. Sure, we'll take it. Absolutely. Give me more. Give me more. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right. Biggin, Grazer, you guys are good. All right, here we go. So, again, those are kind of some of the kind of strategy keys that you should go for when trying to get these conditions, in my opinion at least, right? Err on the side of, there we go. Err on the side of going support heavy, but you can always pause, by the way, and see where you're at. If you don't like where you're at after 1 round or 2 rounds, you can just reset, but don't make the mistake that I did early on. Oh, man, early on, I forgot where it was. Let's go in and get more poisons. Why not, right? We're already at 18. I mean, not going to go auto, right? But early on, I made the mistake of finishing a level and only getting 2 stars, and then you can't, like, reuse those keys. You have to wait till the next cycle comes around, right? So, especially if you want to make some progress and you think you might have a shot at higher level stages, it will cost you, like, a whole day on the back end, Anyway, going through here, the first waves are the first feedback that I got from you guys when I did my honest review. Initially, people were like, dude, this is so easy, Plarium. And then I'm starting to get a lot of people who are like, dude, this is insanely hard. And it is noteworthy that when they introduced Faction Wars 1.0, they nerfed it twice. They nerfed Faction Wars 2 times. And man, this is stage 1. Level 250 mobs. I mean, my team is kind of a powerhouse, and, we're kind of running into, I wouldn't say trouble just yet, but it's not like super easy, right? I think this content, I feel like most players in the game, even these early stages, will find very challenging. So if you're finding it challenging, you're not alone, and I think that's by design. I think that is normal. So I don't think like you're doing anything wrong per se. I think this is, when you look at it from that perspective, player's perspective, this has to be endgame content that will keep players occupied until their big Q4 update, which again is like potentially 6 months away. So this needs to last a while for players to be engaged with, So anyway, here we go, taking down that last Freya. Is it Freya? Yeah, Freya. Didn't even recognize her from the front. All right. Come on, man. Get in there. Kill Freya. Okay. So there we go. All that. We got the job done. We got our 3 stars. Let's go to the next stage. 10 plus stun debuffs. So who are we going to recommend for stunners? Now with stun debuffs, similar to the poison debuffs, we can run toxic sets and we can run stun sets. That will help out a lot. Don't be afraid of using artifact sets. Of course, the pain is, it's the silver cost, right? To get all these stupid sets on, it's going to cost you silver. So for stuns, organically, I'll say, stuns from their skills, we have Prundar. He has a, what does he have on his A1? I don't love, is it A1 with the counterattack? I don't love that option. Prundar number 2, nope. We have Ignatius, who has it on his A1 as well. It's a small chance. I don't love that. Biggin is going to be a great option. He has it at a 45-50% chance on his A2. That's really solid. Biggin was my first legendary, so I have a soft spot there. We have Drakel the Gaunt on his A1. Again, a small chance at landing that. And then Ignatius again. Okay, my max Ignatius. So that's it. Not a lot of stun options either there. Now, of course, you could double down if you have a champion like Biggin, and you could run him. Actually, I need to sort. Why is it not showing Bellower? Did I miss Bellower? That's very strange. Oh, because he's not a stunner, Ash. I'm such an idiot. I'm like, you could use Bellower in a stun set. Why is he not coming up? Bellower in a stun set, I think, is going to be your best option. A lot of players have Bellower, a rare champion with an AoE on his A1, his A2, and his A3. So I think Bellower is going to be a terrific option for you guys. I might actually have my Bellower in a stun set. I can just find him over here. No, I don't. What was I doing with him in a lifesteal set anyway? All right, so I think I could probably run this team. I'll take Stock the Broken out, and I'll go back to the stuns, remind myself who I have here. There's actually not a good AoE option besides Biggin. Ignatius, a champion like that with 2 AoEs, though, you could definitely use him. I'm going to go ahead and actually use Bellower, and I'm actually going to use him in the stun set here. So we'll do it really quick here. But I think stun sets are obviously, for most players, it's going to be the easiest way to achieve this one. And the cool thing is a champion like Bellower, look at all my stun gear, guys. Are you guys anything like me? Stun gear, it's all equipped on my entire account. Almost every piece is being equipped by somebody right now. So I'm just going to, again here, I would typically actually go in here, make sure I'm picking the right gear, make sure I have his crit rate, his crit damage and whatnot, but just for interest and time, I'm just going to make sure he's well crit capped, well above what he needs to be here, and I'm going to put him in a stun set. I believe he already has Fearsome Presence, but let me check just in case. I'm not going to redo his masteries, but if you're going to be running stun sets, definitely consider Fearsome Presence, but again, the cost here is adding up. 150 gems to reset. So, you know, Fearsome Presence will take your stuns from artifacts from an 18 to a 23. You're in Faction Wars hard mode, you already know this. But you can also get leeches from there and Harvest Despair as well, even if they don't have a leech, and there's quite a few leech conditions. So don't be afraid to go Fearsome Presence, Harvest Despair, Retribution if they have the AoE on the A1. It's kind of a nice combo, and it could help you out in other areas as well. So here we go. We should hopefully be able to just go full-on auto here. Let's see. Biggin usually leads in with his A2 as well. So let's go a couple waves. So level 255. I was mentioning this in my review video of Faction Wars 2.0, like my honest review of the update itself on my main channel, by the way, if you guys are curious. And I think that it's around 500 accuracy, 500 resistance, and the enemies move at around a 300 to 320 speed at stage 21 of Faction Wars. If you guys want an idea of what you're going to be going up against right at the end here, I only have 5 out of 10. See, this is where you can get into trouble. Take auto off, and let's see if I can get some stuns down before we kill everybody. I get like very antsy. I don't want to kill anybody here. I don't want to kill anybody. All right, I don't want to do that. Ew, that Grazer Iron Gut, man, he hits pretty hard. I'm trying not to use... I think I'm going to have to redo this one, unfortunately. Can we land some stuns? Yeah, we're only at 6, though. It's too risky. It's too risky. Let's replay. All right, let's actually not go on auto this time. Let's just go A1s. I like to kind of just... even though I shouldn't have done that A2. I like to just chill for a little bit. We landed a couple stuns there. That's cool. I'm actually going to kill this wave because we're already under decreased defense anyway. And then we'll start working on that second wave with their Biggin stuns, right? And then what we'll try to do is, again, pretty obvious stuff here, but we'll go in and try not to do a lot of damage. Instead, try to support our team, right? Using everything except for the strong DPS. That's why I'm going in with the A1 here of Bellower. Hopefully we land 3 stuns there. We land 2. That's cool. So we're already at, what, 5, 6? Perfect, perfect. So this is actually feeling a lot better here, this wave, right? Or this go-round. So it looks like going manual, if you want to, want to achieve this, might be the way to go in terms of getting all of your conditions met. Are we at 7? No, we're still at 6. We'll just kill them all here for the most part. Kind of want to get Bellower in one more time. To try to land one more sneaky stun on Mausoleum Mage, but he's probably just going to kill here. Nah, Mausoleum Mage, our guy, goes in with the A3. That's a cleanse and a heal. So we do land a stun. It's exactly what I wanted. In one more turn on Bellower as well. That way we can get that 7. Now we're looking really good here against this last wave. So let's go ahead and attack Morrigan. Let's go in again with just Bellower's A1. And there it is. That's 2. That's 9 out of 10. 1 stun. That's all we need, and we get it. Okay. So we got our 10 stuns. Just got to be careful about killing somebody accidentally, right? That's the danger. Getting that kill shot. All right, there it is. We get our reward. I wonder what stage. I don't have to wonder. But what is the stage that unlocks the different rarities on the glyphs? I guess that's on the main screen, huh? Okay, so stage 3, glyph drops. Does it say, oh yeah, the rarities here. So I guess it doesn't show you the percentages of getting which glyph. Did it say on this screen 4 to 6, but it doesn't say the rarities. You know what I'm talking about? 4 to 6. Yeah, nothing really changes in terms of, like, there's no indicator here that I can see at least what the percentages of getting the rare, the legendary glyphs are as you go. Anyway, 10 provoke debuffs. Okay, well, we have Grazer Iron Gut. He has provoke. Who else do we have here? Let's take a look at our debuffs and our conditions for provoke. So, Grazer Iron Gut. We have Ignatius, who's a great option. Let's put Ignatius in there for Biggin. We have Grimskin. Grimskin has a provoke on his A2. Man, I would feel for somebody who only had Grimskin and that's it. And they had to go in there and manually provoke every single just to get it to, is it 10? It's only 10. At least it's not 20. The CCs tend to be 10 here. A provoke as well on an AoE on Prundar. So I would say that Prundar seems to be a great option for a few of these early stages in Ogryn Tribe. I do have a maxed out Prundar that I would love to use, but he's not fully built yet. You can see with my ascension levels, right? So I'll probably build him for the future, though. That's pretty cool. So between Ignatius and Grazer Iron Gut, we'll be good. Provoke on an AoE, 75%. On his A2, let's just make sure he has enough accuracy, which he does. And on Grazer, 100% provoke on his A3. So this should be pretty easy with 2 AoE provokers. But I think that Prundar is probably going to be a great option for a lot of players here, right? Now, hopefully we can get this achieved pretty easily here with these 2 on auto. But let's see what happens. So my recommendations are Bellower stun set. Prundar seems to be a very, very viable option for a few of these early contingencies, or whatever you want to call them, conditions rather. I would also say that Urigrim is a really good support for the Ogryn Tribes. So trying to think of some champions that can help you out in the future, not just on these challenges, and these are definitely ones to consider here. Bellower is just one of the better rares in the game, so you can't go wrong. And the good news is, because he's so good, odds are a lot of players have him built as compared to a Void Epic and a Prundar. Let me know, by the way, if you like this format. Kind of methodically going through 2 factions here. It's taking a while. So hopefully you guys like it. All right, so there it is. 3 stages cleared. We'll work on 4 next week. All right, let's collect our material, and let's go on to Dwarf Crypt. So Dwarves now. Beat the stage, 5 champions, no losses, 10 HP burn debuffs. By the way, when they say no losses, just like regular faction wars, if you revive, it still counts as a no loss at the end as long as they're living. So burners. Who do we have for burners here? Obviously, we have Geomancer. Let's see who else we have for the old burn. Trunda, Brogni, oops, sorry, I'm blocking him. Trunda, Brogni. Brogni has the burn on his A1, so it's not ideal. We're really looking for AoE, ideally in a perfect case scenario. Herndig, though, has a burn Where is this burn? Is it the 2 turns after the attack on enemies whose turn meters are below 30%? Quite the conditional burn on Herndig. Man, I forgot. Do I have him built right now? No, I don't. Ugh. Okay. Trunda does have it on her A3. Plays an HP burn for 2 turns, so that's beautiful. Trunda might be enough to get it done. Granjar is actually a Doom Tower Secret Room legendary champion who is a great burner. He is on a 4-turn cooldown, and I have him kind of built. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and use Trunda. And I always knew there would be a day where I can use good old Granjar. I have him in a bolster set as well. He has a boatload of HP, 22k. So I'd recommend bolster sets or shield sets, especially as the going gets tough. Things start becoming more difficult, right? All right, guys, so I did a battle. I forgot I didn't even add Granjar to the team. Also, I learned something. I learned that Trunda can't land a burn because she'll just kill everybody. You don't get credit for the burns if you get the kill on the same ability. So we need Granjar. We need to redo that stage. Trust me, it was really boring. I'm doing everybody a favor by restarting here this one. All right, so Granjar, AoE burn. Okay, we'll take a few. We have 3 burns landed here. That's pretty much the totality of what we got in the first go-round. So I'm glad that let's land some provokes. By the way, on provoke stages for Dwarves, Rockbreaker is going to be one of my go-tos here. Let's go ahead and land that burn, Brogni. Attaboy, that's number 4. Not bad, not bad. Man, Granjar is one of the worst legendaries in the game. And, hey, at least we have a use for him. This, and there's one area some of you guys might know, in Soul Cross that is actually really good in Cursed City. All right. Let's just keep hammering away here. Maybe we could have gone with maybe a little bit more firepower. I don't know. Let's land that burn. Ah, come on. All right. So I guess our DPS here is going to be literally the burns, right? Okay, well, you guys saw the burn options here. I'm not going to force you guys to watch me do all these waves. I'll come back at the end and we'll see if we were able to achieve the 3-star. All right, it took us 6 minutes, but we got the job done. All right, victory. Jeez. So yeah, we talked about burner options there. Granjar, again, is worth the mention because he is farmable through your secret rooms in Doom Tower. Do you guys have Granjar? Let me know. Stun is going to be the next one here. So again, let's go to the debuffs. Let's look for the stunners. We have Fodor, the Bard. Okay. He has, what does he have on his A1? On his A2. Stun for 1 turn instead if they have no buffs. Ooh, I didn't realize that he had that. It's only a single target, though. Okay. We have, obviously, stun sets. Beast Wrestler. He has a stun on his A1 on a 2-time hitter. Okay, it's unclear if that's a chance on each hit or not. We have Trunda. Trunda, of course, has the stun here. Actually, on enemies not under stun, excuse me. She has the stun on the A1. But again, Trunda, she's going to kill everybody. That's the problem there. And then we have, Gottfried Brassclad. He's a great stunner. 100% stun on a 3-turn cooldown. Hell yeah. All right, let's use just Gottfried and try to do it. Now, let's use Trunda. Let's be careful with Trunda, huh? Let's be careful with Trunda. All right, so she actually did land 2 stuns there without killing, which is fantastic. So this should be a lot faster. I actually don't want to use this right now. They're both under stun right now, so we'll leave Gottfried Brassclads. We'll leave his stun for the next round. All right. Here we go. Gonna go in. Boom. Beautiful. So we're already at 6 here. Hopefully clean up with some Trunda there. Everybody's oh, there's some void there too. My bad. Whatever. No big deal. I think at this point, the stuns I do find a bit easier because, again, even if you don't have the stun champions, the Gottfried Brassclad, you know, odds are you will have stun sets that you can put on some AoE champions. Kurzad Deepheart is a great AoE option. Candle Guard is a great AoE option. We have, I mean, Dilgal has an AoE in his kit. So there's some options for AoE rares that you could use to put a stun set on. All right. This should get us to our 10. There it is. All right, not too bad there. And then Trunda can play cleanup, right? All right, so one more stage for this video. Let's see what it is. Couple more hits. Come on. And there it is. All right. So, 10 provokes. Well, we already know Rockbreaker is going to be my go-to. He's got the AoE provoke. It's a great ability. He has no gear on. I was wondering why he wasn't doing much. All right, Rockbreaker. We're going to throw you in some, you guessed it, some perception gear for Rockbreaker. Rockbreaker, I've told this story a billion times on my main channel, but he was a huge part of my account. I really struggled with Dwarf Faction Wars back in the day, and he was big for me. He was the first dude that that really, when I built him, not because of his provoke actually, but rather because of his passive. He has a chance of mitigating damage, incoming damage. So he was really crucial for me. So he always had a soft spot for him, right? I can probably use a Molly Tankard, right? Plenty of provokers with Rockbreaker in Molly in the epic and legendary category. Who else do we have here for debuffs? I have most champions in the game other than, you know, some of the unities and mythicals. So I'm just searching my own collection, and that's why I'm not going to the actual, you know, the whatever, the index. Tormund has it on his A3. We can just might as well put Tormund in there, right? So we're going all out provoke. Nari the Lucky has it on his A3 as well. AoE provoke. Nari the Lucky. Okay, cool. Now we have a use for Nari the Lucky. And then Gottfried. Gottfried has it on his A1? Yeah, he has it on his A1 as well. We took him out though, so this is going to be a breeze here with a few provokers on the team, right? We can go all out. But again, similar to stun and poison, we can go with provoke sets on AoEs as well, right? It just gets to be a lot of silver. So ideally, you want to go with the champions if you have it, even if it becomes a little bit more tedious, having to slow things down to ensure that you get those 10 or 20 debuffs on, rather than muling gear around, right? Unless you have the silver, but who does in this game, right? So we're already at, what, 9? We're already at 9 right now. So, I mean, it's pretty much, that's 10 right there. So there it is, guys. I don't know. Was this fun for you? It was fun for me. We get Dwarves. We got Ogryn Tribe. Tomorrow and every other day subsequently, I'll try to do these videos early in the morning here, East Coast time. That way, you know, at least they're a bit more timely when these faction crypts are open. So I apologize for the untimeliness of this video. But there it is, guys. And again, let me know if you want to see any changes in the format. I'm happy to jump into the index and really go, you know, a robust overview of any champion that you should or could be using for any of these challenges or conditions. But there it is, guys. We're looking pretty good so far. We'll collect the rest of our stuff here. We have, what do we have? Sylvan Watcher. That's going to be hard for tomorrow. Not a lot of players have a lot of good Sylvan Watcher champions, being the newest faction, along with Orcs. So stay tuned for Orcs and Sylvan Watchers tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.